Hey everyone, how's it going? Said I noticed that this is a thread with at least my ideal clients is, well, how do I stand out online when, there's so many people out there. There's so much noise out there. Now everybody seems to be doing Facebook Lives, and now there's Facebook Audio Live, and there's, all these different things coming out, and everybody's hopping on them. And then there's like even in my own news feed, I've had to shut down my news feed from my laptop because I just can't stand all the noise, to be honest with you. And I think my time gets wasted whenever I get distracted scrolling through Facebook news feed. Anyone else feel me on this? I just couldn't handle all the distraction. And so I just decided to cut that out. And now, I limit, even on my phone, I try to limit that as much as possible as well. And just having specific times when I actually check my social media. So that being said, so I totally understand all the noise. So how do you stand out? How do you actually stand out when, especially if you're feeling like, well, I'm kind of new and there's tons of other fitness experts out there. There's tons of coaches, business coaches out there, whatever, branding, whatever it is that you're wanting to do. How do you do it, right? And this is something that I do pride myself in just a little bit, only because that's the feedback that I've gotten from my tribe, from my clients. One of my favorite compliments to get is, I could feel that you are a real person. When I watch your videos, when I hear, whatever it is that you're saying, I can feel, you're a real person and you're not fake. And that is literally one of my favorite compliments. Forget, oh, you look pretty. No, that is one of my favorites. That one, and that I'm funny. I like that one too. So that's, like I said, that's been one of the top comments or feedback that I've gotten about my brand, is that it stands out and that it's different. And I want to talk about some of the ways that I've been able to create a brand that stands out and make myself different from other strategists or other business coaches out there. Because yes, in case you didn't know, I do fall under that umbrella of a business coach. I don't call myself, I don't come out and say, I'm Desiree, I'm a business coach, because there's about 50,000 other business coaches. And I felt like I wanted a title for myself that actually captured what it is I do. That being said, let me get to the meat of this. So how do you get yourself to stand out, your brand? How do you create a brand that actually stands out and attracts people that you love and creates a tribe that loves you a lot too and engages with you? So one of the first things that, like I said, going back to what I'm calling myself, so to speak, like my title. Now, I'm not going to place a lot of importance on what you actually call yourself, but I will say this. Why I call myself a style and visibility strategist was because the style captures not just branding in the sense of like fonts and colors and things like that, but the personal branding, which yes, there is a difference, by the way. There is a difference between personal branding and just branding, okay? I'm gonna use the example of business coaching, but this applies across the board, whether you are a life coach, whether you're a fitness expert, whether you're a consultant, it doesn't matter, whether you're a copywriter, even a virtual assistant, okay? This applies across pretty much every service-based business that is a personal brand that makes you at the front. A personal brand means that your name is tied to your brand, to your business. You are the face of your business. Okay, you started it, you're the head honcho, and your face is at the top of the game. Okay, so now the business coach example is going to use. Now, comment below, give me a yes if you have seen tons of business coaches in the online world, or tons of health coaches, or tons of life coaches, right? This is an easy example, and that's why I'm going to use it. But like I said, it applies, or tons of VAs, tons of copywriters, right? You've seen tons of these, right? So what makes all of them different? What makes all of those brands different? Well, for one, it's the experience that you have interacting with that brand. Okay, so for me, how I defined the experience that I want my my audience and my tribe to have with my brand is very, very much me, what I had already identified about myself that made me just a different individual from Sally and Molly Mo over there, okay? And those things, so for me, I'll give you my example. Like I said, it's just an easy example to use, but I really like a classy style. I like a classy look, a classy style. I like very feminine accessories, very just feminine elements to my brand. So all those things, you know, I wanted to really incorporate. Now, bringing that in, so I had that, and then also bringing in the fact that I'm kind of sassy. I may have a classy style, but I can get kind of sassy, and I like, you know, I like to just make people laugh. So I have no shame sometimes in doing some things to, you know, twerking if I have to. I don't care. Like if I'm with my friends and I'm having a good time, I will do kind of random things to make people laugh. And that's just something that I wanted to be infused. Another thing I stand for is boldness, confidence. Obviously, I teach women to really stand in their power and stand and be visible in a confident way. I wanted all those things to come through, and it's something that I feel very passionate about. And so I had to identify all of those things about my brand to really be captured. Because before you go off and get a professional photo shoot or a brand photo shoot, before you go off and create your website and do all these things, you want to be clear on what makes you different. What is it about you that people just love? Why do people hang out with you? Why do people come talk to you? Why do people come, you know, have lunch with you? Whatever it is, what is it that people really love about you? A lot of times, and this, I was guilty of this at the beginning. Those things like, you know, being silly and twerking and just kind of being, you know, I'm not going to twerk on camera. Sorry if you guys were getting excited. Sorry. Like I said, I will dance goofy, you know, and when the time is right. I don't just do it just because, oh, look at me, I want to get attention. However, that is something that I wanted to come through. So if you look at some of my photos, you know, you will see some of those elements coming through, like the sassy side and you know, Shaniqua, don't play, you know, like that comes out. And those were elements that I knew were really important to come across for people. Okay. And then obviously getting on video, you can really get a feel for me. Right. And that's why, you know, that's why I say even an audio live feature, it's a great tool, but it's not going to replace video, because on video, people really can get a feel for you and they can see your mannerisms and they can see how much energy you have. Right. So all of those things I had to get very clear on, and that is what you need to do as well as a personal brand. You have to get clear on those things that make you so lovable. And guess what? Being Little Miss Perfect is not what makes you lovable. Oh no, all the Little Miss Perfects just went running, right? And here's the thing, and I say that because I was Little Miss Perfect. I wanted to come across, you know, everything said perfectly and I couldn't make any mistakes and I couldn't, you know, I just had to put on this face, right? But you know what I realized is that wasn't making me any money. That wasn't bringing me the clients. That wasn't getting me the engagement I wanted. It wasn't working. And then once I finally identified what's my experience with, so what do I bring to the table with what I'm teaching? So I'm teaching women to overcome their fears of visibility, to really rewire those beliefs that they have about themselves, their self-image, their self-worth. I mean, all this goes so much deeper than just get on a video, right? It gets so deep. So all those things being said, you know, I wanted my brand to really represent all of those things that I knew were important. And that's why, you know, when I come, even like down to like my colors, like I have very bold colors, very bold elements, you know, all those things I felt really came together to really represent me, right? And so that's one of the ways that you are going to, honestly, that's how I've been able to create a brand that sticks out to people, because I brought in myself. I put my best foot forward. I went and I had my photo shoot done and I specifically worked with that photographer to say, you know, these are my values. This is what my brand stands for. This is my mission statement for my brand. And this is what I want to come across. Even I had some fitness photos done in my brand shoot because that is something I 110% believe in. And not just fitness, but personal development in general as an entrepreneur. Your bank account is a direct reflection of your personal development. Okay, I can't say that enough. I've seen that in my own life. I've seen it over and over. It's a direct reflection of what's going on up here. So whatever money you're making in your business, it's reflecting what's going on within you. And so I've noticed that the more I actually focus on my personal development and making myself the very best, overcoming whatever beliefs I have, whatever programming that's not serving me, letting go of those old stories, just letting those things die. You know, that's something that one of my mentors just said this week that really resonated with me, is you got to let those things die and move forward and create new life and create the new reality, because a lot of us are living according to what our parents have said in the past, or what so-and-so thinks we should do, or what people in general, what you think people are going to like, you know, being a people pleaser, right? I've been guilty of that. Absolutely. So if that's you, you're not alone. I've been totally guilty of, and that's even something that I'm still working on, there's layers to this, like I said, there's stuff in my personal life that I have to ask myself, well, why do I care so much what this person thinks? And you can't live life according to other people, or not get on a video, or not show yourself as a brand and for everything that you stand for, if you're so concerned with what so-and-so is going to say and what's so-and-so going to think and all those things. So those are things you have to work on in order for you to actually put yourself out there in the way that you are meant to, because you were not put on this earth to hide under a box. Okay. We all have, everything that is living on this earth has a purpose. Even like the flowers, the plants, everything has a purpose and has a way that it flourishes and it thrives. And us humans, we are the greatest of God's creations. Absolutely. And especially for us, we are meant to really thrive and shine and flourish and live to the fullest of our capacity on this earth. So those of you, and like I said, I touch on visibility because, like I said, I've gotten a lot of questions about this, and, I want to stand out and I want to put myself out there, but I can't get over, I have to have a script for my videos all the time. I can't go on there and just, talk, because what if I say or what if I sound stupid, or what if I mess this up and I'll get too nervous and all those things. And I get it, because obviously this is not my first Facebook Live I'm doing. I've done hundreds and hundreds of them. And my first Facebook Live, yes, I'm sure I probably had a very specific outline of how I wanted it to go, right? But this is such a valuable skill to learn no matter what you're doing in life. Just the art of being able to get up in front of people, get on a camera, and just speak from your heart. Okay. I've been lucky, I've been able to do some speaking engagements, and I'm actually, if you're in the Utah area also, I am going to be speaking at an entrepreneurial event in a couple weeks. So, and I'm able to get some people free tickets. So if you're in the area, just let me know. So, but like I said, all those things would have never happened if I hadn't first overcome those fears and started doing that thing that scared me the most. And then it turns out I actually fell in love with it. I fell in love with showing up and sharing what was in my heart and what's inside of me to help other people. And if I wouldn't have overcome those things, I know I would not have helped the women that I have helped up to this point. And still, there's so many more that I know I'm meant to help, and I'm meant to help get over these specific blocks, because I've been there and I've done that, right? So anyway, there's a lot of things that I'm saying that I actually didn't necessarily plan to say, but I'm feeling really just strongly about this, and that it's something that I need to share right now. So if you want to stand out online, if you want to be different, it's not a big secret, you guys. Like, don't think that this is like, oh, a reserved secret for only a select few people that are the only ones that are meant to make money online and have this thriving business. It's not the case. This is meant for you if you desire it. And so, like I said, the way that you're going to stick out is to share those things that only your best friends know about you. Obviously, relate it back to what it is that what you're helping people with. Don't just let everybody know, for no reason. There has to be a strategic purpose behind it. Like the things that I share about my personal life, they have a purpose. And the reason that I share them is because it's something that I know my tribe struggles with. And the same thing, you have to know who it is you're serving. Because if you're also going out there and just speaking to everyone, I'm sure you've heard that quote, you speak to no one, you help no one. So that is one of the first things you're going to have to get, the two things you have to get clarity on is what makes you lovable, what is interesting about you, what do people love about you, what do people come to you for, why do people want to spend time with you. Don't be shy about asking those people that around you that you know. They're probably going to have really great answers for you. And then the second thing you have to get clear on as a brand is, who is the person I serve? Who am I serving? What specific problems am I helping them with? And don't be all over the place. This has to be pretty lasered in, okay? And once you understand what it is you're doing for people, and then you know what's going to make you stand out, what your story cannot be copied. Your experiences, the hard trials, the things that you've gone through, that nobody can replicate. People can steal your content. People can copy you in other ways, but they can't copy you, can't copy your story. And it's not, you're not serving anybody by just holding back from people. So that's why I invite you to really get clear on those things. What do people love about you? Start bringing that in, and don't be shy about it. Like I said, if you're so stuck on like, well, if people are going to think this is dumb, maybe some people will, but what's the worst that's going to happen if someone, heaven forbid, doesn't like you? Maybe that one person out of like 1,000 that doesn't like you. What's going to happen? I mean, really, you gotta have, I think sometimes we're so fearful of this thing that's like, it's not even dangerous, right? But we're just fearful of it. And we just think like, well, and I understand where it comes from. It comes from that need to be accepted and loved and things like that. But just ask yourself that very just straightforward question. What is going to happen if I do put myself out there? Let's say maybe I do mess up or whatever. One person doesn't like me. Always remember, whatever people see in you is, and if they don't like something, it's just a reflection of something that they don't like about themselves. It has nothing to do with you. Okay, so thanks so much, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.